पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. I'd like all the kids to please make your way away from the walls and come closer. Okay? Did you guys all enjoy your summer break? No? Some of you did? Okay, come closer please. So Jazakallah khair for attending today on a Sunday. Our Sunday school is starting. Today is the kickoff presentation, registration, so your parents have brought you here. The program's going to go like this. We're going to have majlis, so Youm-e-Hussain. That's how we're starting our Sunday school. It will start with the tilawat of the Quran Sharif, and then we will go through Marsiya, Salam. We have a couple of speeches. Then we'll have a speech by Afif Hassan, and then we'll have a couple of you reciting Noha, and then we'll do a quick presentation on the Sunday school itself. Okay, so we'll tell you what the Sunday school is going to be. We'll show you who your teachers are going to be, and inshallah we'll be starting Sunday school next week on Sunday. Please recite aloud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. To start off the program, now I'd like to call on Muhammad Siddiqui to please come and recite the Quran. Par Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى أن رآه استغنى إن إلى ربك الرجعى أرأيت الذي ينحى عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت إن كان على الهدى أو أمر بالتقوى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يراه كلا لئن لم ينته لنسفعا بالناصية ناصية كاذبة خاطئة صدق الله العلي العظيم.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Please recite aloud salawat for on. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now I'd like to call upon Jafar to please come and recite a salam. For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala
salawat. अकबर तुम्हें मालूम है क्या मांगा है हो तुम बाप से मरने की मांगा है हो अकबर तुम्हें मालूम है क्या मांग रहे हो तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो इस आलम गुर्बत में तुम्हें जाने दूं कैसे, इस दश्त मुसीबत में तुम्हें जाने दूं कैसे, इस वक्त क़यामत में तुम्हें जाने दूं कैसे। ए लाले जो तुम इज़्ने वेगा मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। अकबर तुम्हें मालूम है क्या मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। क्या गुज़रेगी इस बाप के दिल पर नहीं सोचा, तुमने ये मेरी जो अली अकबर नहीं सोचा। मर जाऊंगा मैं तुझसे बिछड़ कर नहीं सोचा, तुम मुझसे ज़ईफ़ी का आसा मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। अकबर तुम्हें मालूम है क्या मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। दिल रोता है नज़रों से अगर दूर हो बेटा, किस तरह जुदाई तेरी मंजूर हो बेटा, तुम ही मेरी आँखें हो मेरा नूर हो बेटा, मुझसे मेरी आँखों की ज़िया मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। अकबर तुम्हें मालूम है क्या मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। दुनिया से गए जिस गैर महबूब खुदा का, नाना की ज़ियारत को तरफ था नवासा। ए लाल तुझे इसलिए खालिक से था मांगा, मकबूल हुई मेरी दुआ मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। अकबर तुम्हें मालूम है क्या मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। इस्लाम पे खुद अपना लहू रन में बहाओ, सीने पे से निशान से मैदान में खाओ, तस्वीर पैगंबर की तहे खाक मिलाओ, क्या इसलिए मरने की मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। अकबर तुम्हें मालूम है क्या मांग रहे हो, तुम बाप से मरने की मांग रहे हो। सलावत।
Jazakallah khair, Jafar. Please recite aloud salawat for the tawfiqat of Jafar. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now I'd like to call another one of our students, Wahaj, to please come and give a speech. But Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna Allaha ma'as sabirin. And Allah is with the patient ones. Assalamu alaikum. Today I recited the short verse from the Holy Quran which tells about being patient. There's no better example more than the school of Ahwabet. I'd like to begin the story. So on the day of Ashura, when Imam Hussein's friends and family were martyred, Imam Hussain did farewell to all the weddings in Ahwabet, and then he said, How min Nasir ya Sunni 3 times, and then he saw a Wadi who was weak, sad and exhausted, and it was Imam Hussein's sister, Wadi Zainab Sawamu. And then Wadi Zainab Sawamu hugged Imam Hussain and said, I am here for you, brother. And then Imam Hussain went to the battlefield and got martyred. Because Imam Hussain was patient, Allah have rewarded him. And now thousands and thousands of people go to the Arba'in. And they say salam there, and they say, Nahnu wasarika ya Aba Abdullah. Rabeka ya Hussain.
Muhammad, Jazakallah khair Wahaj. MashaAllah. Please recite aloud salawat for all of our reciters. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So as I was mentioning earlier that we're inshallah going to be starting our Sunday school next week. So next Sunday, we'll be sharing more details at the conclusion of this program around what it's going to be. But just as kind of like a quick summary, we will be starting Sunday school at 11. And it will run until 3 or 3:30, depending on if your child is enrolled in Urdu classes or not. So if they're not enrolled in Urdu class, it would end at 3, so 11 to 3. And if they are enrolled in the optional Urdu class, it will end at 3:30. We will have assembly for the first 15 minutes. One of the things that we're implementing a couple of changes this year. One of them is this schedule of 11 to 3 or 3:30, which will be consistent throughout the year. In the past, what we've had to do is whenever there is daylight saving time, where we gain or lose an hour, we would have to adjust our schedule. The reason for that, and it did cause some concern with some of the parents because they have to schedule different activities at different times outside of Sunday school. The reason for adjusting the schedule was to accommodate namaz. So we obviously need to accommodate lunchtime in the middle of the Sunday school, and then now we have to accommodate namaz as well. So without adjusting, we would have to give larger breaks. So now what we've done is between 11 and 3 or 3:30, we've incorporated right at lunchtime, it won't impact. So we have given a larger lunch plus an extracurricular spot. So extracurricular, so we have an hour and a half dedicated for lunch, namaz, as well as this practical extracurricular class. We had wanted to roll it out last year. The objective of this extracurricular class, which is again new this year, is to go through practical applications of a number of things of ahkam. So for example, Maulana Hadi would lead. It won't be structured in the same way. So we have a total of 10 grades. So grades 1 through grade 10. But it won't be structured the same way. We're going to group the different teams or different classes together. So grade 1 to grade 4, 5 to 7, and 8 to 10. And then we'll be going through practical applications, everything from wuzu, azadari class, presentation skills, so giving speeches, giving lectures. And we have this amazing platform where we can empower our children not to be the best of Azadar and best of Muslims, but also develop the skills that they can use in their careers, whether it's public speaking. We have this platform, this amazing platform. So we want to utilize all of that. We will be introducing more career fairs for the older kids, so grades 8, 9, and 10. If they're looking at post-secondary, we'll be introducing some of those elements within that hour and a half time slot. So yes, inshallah, we'll be starting all of that. In addition, we'll be doing the monthly activities. So last year, alhamdulillah, within the 10 months of Sunday school, 9 to 10 months of Sunday school, we had an activity each month. Everything from movie to bowling to nature walks. We visited the Garden of Fatima as well as one of our first field trips, so we're going to be implementing that as well, that we'll be going through monthly activities. So each month we'll have at least one field trip that we'll be assigning. With all of this, there's a need for volunteers. So far we have a team of Maulana Hadi is the principal of the Sunday school, so if you have any questions regarding that, you can contact him, myself, Abbas Mirza, and then Abbas Momin as well. Now, that hopefully needs to expand to a larger group of volunteers. So we are looking for dedicated volunteers to help run anything from the extracurricular activities and the monthly activities as well. The calendar of that, like I mentioned, that we will be sharing it at the conclusion of this Youm-e-Hussain. Please recite a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Now I'd like to request Afif Hassan to please come and give a speech. Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المظلومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله الحكيم في الذكر الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد كان في قصصهم عبرة لأولي الألباب. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Imagine this. There's a shop full of mirrors, a shop which exclusively sells mirrors. Okay? And there's a shopkeeper in the shop. So from day to night, from dawn to dusk, he's in that shop, he's trying to sell mirrors. He has something wrong with his collar. His collar's turned this way or something. Or there's something wrong with his face. There's a stain on his mouth. He's in that shop for 24 hours, 7 days a week, but he doesn't fix that collar. He doesn't clean that stain off his face. However, I just pass by that shop. I pass by that shop, I see a bunch of mirrors, I come in, I look into one of the mirrors, I see my collar's undone, I do my collar up. I see there's something wrong with my face, I clean that stain off. So why is it that this shopkeeper who's in the shop for 7 days a week, every single day he's with those mirrors, he can't clean himself, he can't fix his collar, but I just look at one mirror for 1 minute and I fix myself? The reason is the reason why we're looking at the mirror, the intention behind looking at the mirror. The shopkeeper is looking at the mirrors, but he wants to sell them. He wants to make some money off of those mirrors. But I'm looking at the mirror with the intention of cleaning myself, with the intention of making myself looking more presentable. Now when we come to the tragedy of Karbala, we see people such as Nelson Mandela and people such as Mahatma Gandhi, these revolutionary leaders, they have clearly stated that we took the inspiration for our revolution, we took the inspiration for our movement from Imam Hussain. We looked at what Imam Hussain did in Karbala, and we looked at his patience, we looked at his perseverance, and we took our stand. So they took the lesson from Imam Hussain, and they became what they became. Now these people, they were not religiously connected to Imam Hussain. They weren't Shia, they weren't even Muslims. They weren't religiously connected to him. They didn't have a emotional attachment to him. But still they took that one lesson that they needed from Imam Hussain, and they became Nelson Mandela, they became Mahatma Gandhi, and they changed the world for the better. So we ourselves, we also need to look at the event of Karbala in a new lens, in a lens to not only cry over Imam Hussain, but to learn from Imam Hussain, learn from the lessons which he taught in the plains of Karbala, and thus improve our lives. So we don't be like that shopkeeper who stood in that shop for 7 days a week, but was unable to transform himself. But we should be like the person who looks into the mirror one time, sees what's wrong, and transforms himself for the better. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the story of Prophet Yusuf that in the story there are lessons for those who have intellect. The world is full of lessons. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, he says, مَا أَكْثَرَ الْعِبَرِ وَأَقَلَّ الْاِعْتِبَارِ. There are so many places in this world where we can take lessons from. However, those who take the lessons are very few. So one way in which we can extrapolate lessons from the battle of Karbala, from this epic of Karbala, is to look at the characters who were deeply involved. So today I'd like to explore the life of one character who was in the battle of Karbala and see what lessons we can take for ourselves. And that character is none other but Umar ibn Sa'd. Umar ibn Sa'd, we've all heard his name, we've all heard of his role in Karbala. He was the son of one of the famous companions of the Prophet by the name of Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, after the Prophet, the Islamic empire, it expanded a lot. It went to Persia, it went to Rome, it wasn't confined to the Hijaz. So the person who led these military conquests, mostly it was Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. The person who spread Islam, the person who spread the borders of Islam to Persia, to Rome, it was mainly Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. This person, he was made the governor of Kufa during the time of the second caliph. He stayed so during the time of the second caliph, during the time of the third caliph, and when it came to Amir al-Mu'mineen, when Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, he became the caliph in the year 36 after Hijrah, he was one of those few people who decided not to pay allegiance to Imam Ali alayhi salam. He said, if everyone has paid allegiance to you, then I'm going to come and I'm going to give my bay'ah to you. Why? The reason is power. He was hungry for power. You know, today if a person becomes a premier, or even if he becomes a leader of a country, he can't rule it according to his own will. He has thousands of people watching him. The opposition party is right there to pick at everything he does wrong. However, in that time, all you had to do was to make sure the caliph was happy with you. If the caliph is happy with you, then you can do whatever you want in your specified area, in your kingdom. So this person, he had the kingdom of Kufa in his hands. Kufa was a very strategic city, it was a very important city, and he was ruling it according to how he wished. And he knew that if I give my bay'ah, if I give my allegiance to Amir al-Mu'mineen, then I'll have to run Kufa according to how Ali wants it to be run. And so that would crush all of his dreams, that would crush all of his ambitions, that would crush all of his evil plots. So because of this hunger of power that he had, because he knew that if he gave his bay'ah and he kept running Kufa how he wanted to run, Imam Ali would send him off. Imam Ali would make sure that there's someone else in Kufa. To make sure that he doesn't lose this power from his hands, he didn't give his bay'ah to Amirul Mu'mineen. So this is the father. Now we come to the son, Umar ibn Sa'd. His very first role we see after the Battle of Siffin. The Battle of Siffin, you can say it ended in a draw between Muawiyah and Imam Ali. Imam Ali was saying to his companions to attack Muawiyah, to finish him off, but his companions, they diverted, they said, no, we're not going to fight Muawiyah. He has raised the Quran on spears, we can't fight the Quran. So it ended at an arbitration. One person from the camp of Muawiyah, Amr ibn As, and one person on the insistence of these people from the camp of Imam Ali, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, they got together to discuss who the caliph should be. So after all of this happened, Umar ibn Sa'd, he came to his father and he said that, look, Imam Ali, he does not have that political power anymore. Muawiyah's reputation is also tarnished. They've been in a war, they're all tired, the Muslims are tired because of this war, these civil wars have drained people out, now it's time for you to stand. Let Ali be, let Muawiyah be, you stand and you become the caliph. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, the great companion of the Prophet, the great conqueror, let you be the caliph. So he was the first person who instigated his father towards caliphate, Umar ibn Sa'd. We come closer to Karbala, we see that Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam, he was based in Medina. He left Medina on the 28th of Rajab and he came to Mecca first on the 3rd of Sha'ban, his birthday, in the year 60 AH. In Mecca, he began to propagate his mission. He began to tell people about what he wanted to do. He began to speak openly about how Yazid was wrong, how Yazid was the wrong choice for the Muslim Ummah, and he began to call people towards his mission, towards his revolution. Umar ibn Sa'd, he was also there in Mecca at that time. Probably he came from Umrah or something. And so immediately he took up his pen and he wrote a letter to Yazid. Yazid, Hussain ibn Ali is in Mecca, he's doing this and this, he's plotting against you, I'm warning you. He sends the letter off to Yazid. So the first informer of Yazid was Umar ibn Sa'd. Later, in the city of Kufa, Imam Hussain, he knew that the people of Kufa, they had betrayed his father, they had betrayed his brother, so he wanted to test them. He sent his cousin Muslim ibn Aqil towards Kufa. In Kufa, Muslim ibn Aqil comes, and within a few days, 18,000 people paid allegiance to Imam Hussain on the hands of Muslim ibn Aqil. So Muslim ibn Aqil, he had amassed 18,000 supporters for Imam Hussain. So who gets worried? Umar ibn Sa'd. Again, he picks up his pen and he writes a letter to Yazid. He says, Yazid, Kufa is in danger. This person, this governor that you have right now, Nu'man ibn Bashir, is a very weak person. If he continues to be like this, you'll lose Kufa from your hands. 18,000 people have given bay'ah to Hussain. You need to do something about Kufa. So again, he writes the letter to Yazid, and because of this letter, Yazid sends Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad towards Kufa, and the story of Karbala begins. So we see this person from the very beginning, he's serving the people in power. He's serving those who are the kings, who are influential people. Why? Because he wants the power for himself. The main vice in Umar ibn Sa'd was his greed for power, his greed for this world, his greed for any status in this world, which is why he's constantly serving those who have the power. He's writing letters to Yazid, he's writing letters here and there, trying to prove himself, trying to get something for himself. And this greed of power is exemplified when it comes to the Battle of Karbala. There was a rebellion in present-day Tehran. Tehran, it is the capital of Iran. Nowadays it's known as Tehran. Back in those days it was known as Ray. Ray was a very fertile land, a very spacious land, and a very rich land, full of resources. So Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad, he says to Umar ibn Sa'd that, look, I'm giving you the deed of Ray. You go, you squash that rebellion, and then Ray is yours. So Umar ibn Sa'd, he gets very happy. Ray, this is what he's wanted his whole life. He wants the kingdom of Ray. He's ready to set off to squash that rebellion. All of a sudden, he's called back. Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad has called you. He comes to Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad. Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad stands in front of him and he says, where's your letter? Your letter of appointment? He takes the letter, he puts it in his pocket. He says, no Ray for you. You're not going to Ray. Hussain ibn Ali is in Karbala. You go in Karbala, you finish the matter off, and then you can go to Ray. Hussain ibn Ali is the son of Ali ibn Abi Talib. He's the grandson of the Prophet. He's a very heavy person. He's a very influential person. I want someone equal to go fight for him. And you are the best person for this job. You are the son of the companion of Rasulullah, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. You are the best person for this job. Go deal with Imam Hussain first, and then you succeed, then we'll give you Ray. Umar ibn Sa'd, he knows Imam al-Hussain. See, there are two types of enemies of the Ahlul Bayt. Some people, they oppose the Ahlul Bayt because they don't know who the Ahlul Bayt are. They don't know the virtues of the Ahlul Bayt. They don't know the closeness of the Ahlul Bayt towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, there is another group of people who oppose the Ahlul Bayt while they know everything. While they know the virtues of the Ahlul Bayt, while they know the virtues of Imam Hussain, they know the virtues of Imam Ali, but still they oppose the Ahlul Bayt. This person, he was from the second category. He knew everything, but still he went to fight. He asked for one night's time. He's thinking, either he goes to Ray and he kills Imam Hussain, or he doesn't kill Imam Hussain and he wipes the thought of Ray from his mind. There is no kingdom for him. There's only two options. And then he's reciting some lines of poetry. أَأَتْرُكُ مُلْكَ الرَّيْ وَالرَّيُّ مُنْيَتِي أَمْ أَرْجِعُ مَأْثُومًا بِقَتْلِ حُسَيْنِ. Either I abandon Ray, I abandon this kingdom and I don't kill Hussain, or I go and kill Hussain and become sinful. So he knows that he's going to be sinful if he goes and tries to kill Imam Hussain. And then he says to himself that it's okay, I'll do tawbah, I'll go and kill Hussain, I'll get Ray, and then after that I'll do tawbah. Again, first of all, this happens to a lot of us. I want to do this sin. I know the sin is bad. But I'll think, okay, I'll just do this one sin, and then after that, it's all okay. I'll just do tawbah after that. First of all, tawbah, it is repentance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not something which is easy. It is not something light. Tawbah itself requires divine grace from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tawbah itself requires tawfiq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what are the chances that Allah will give me that tawfiq? What if I do the sin and I don't get the tawfiq? I don't get the opportunity to do the tawbah. Secondly, if I do tawbah from my side, what is the guarantee that Allah will accept my tawbah? So again, if I do this sin, 100% I'm going to get the sin. If I go through tawbah, maybe Allah is going to accept my tawbah, maybe He's not. So the best option is to stay away from the sin in the first place. Umar ibn Sa'd, he could not understand this. He went towards Karbala. When he came into the battlefield of Karbala, Imam al-Hussain, he had many audiences with him. He had many talks with Umar ibn Sa'd. One time he asked Umar ibn Sa'd that, why are you here? Umar ibn Sa'd, why are you here? He said, if I hadn't come to Karbala, if I hadn't come to kill you, then my house in Kufa would have been destroyed. He said, it's okay. Imam Hussain said, I'll give you a better house in Medina. He says, no. I have many properties in Kufa. If I don't come to kill you, my properties will be destroyed. He says, I'll give you better properties in Hijaz. I'll give you better properties in the area of Mecca and Medina. He says, I have family. My family will be threatened. He said, your family are under my protection. Nothing will happen to them. So now Umar ibn Sa'd, he still doesn't agree. Because he wants that mulk of Ray. The kingdom of Ray, that is the thorn of his eyes. He wants that. He can do anything to get to that. And this is what led him to become Umar ibn Sa'd, to the extent that the first arrow that was shot towards the camp of Imam Hussain on the day of Ashura was from Umar ibn Sa'd. He took the bow, he took the arrow, he shot the arrow, and he said, bear witness in front of Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad that the first person who shot the arrow was me. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he has a very beautiful hadith in which he explains why people do sins. People, they do sins because they are afraid of losing something. You know, if I don't do this corruption, then I lose my job. Or they want to get something, they're greedy for something. If I don't do this corruption, then I'll be left poor and I want this money. This is why I'm going to do this sin. So these are two reasons why people do sins. Either because they want to gain something which they don't have, or they're afraid of losing something which they already have. Imam al-Hussain, what does he say? He says, Man hawala amran bima'siyatillah. Whoever tries to achieve something through disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the thing which he is trying to achieve, it will go farther and farther away from him. وَكَانَ أَسْرَعَ لِمَجِيءِ مَا يَحْذَرُ. And whatever he's trying to prevent, it will come closer to him. Umar ibn Sa'd is the prime example for this. We see Umar ibn Sa'd, he came into the battle of Karbala for the kingdom of Ray. But did he get the kingdom of Ray? No. Through his whole life, he kept going back and forth to the courts of Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad. He didn't get the kingdom of Ray. What did he have? He had the prestige, he had the respect in the eyes of the people of Kufa. There was no respect for him after Karbala. The little children of Kufa used to taunt him, they used to throw rocks at him, they used to make fun of him, calling him the killer of Imam-Hussain. So he lost the respect that he had, and he didn't get the ray that he wanted. He died while he was insane. He went mentally insane, Umar ibn Sa'd, after the battle of Karbala. Which just proves how right Imam Hussain was in saying that people, when they try to get something through sinning, the thing that they are trying to get, it will go farther from them, and the thing that they're trying to prevent, it will come closer to them. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And just a few days past, we have commemorated the 40th of Imam Hussain, which is known as the Arba'een of Imam Hussain. The very first Za'ir, the very first visitor which came to visit Imam Hussain was a companion of the Prophet. We mentioned one companion, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, the negative, and there's the one positive companion. The positive companion, the good companion, this pious companion was named Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. This person, by the time he came to Karbala, by the time the Karbala massacre took place, he was very old. He had lost vision in both of his eyes, which is why he took one of his disciples, Atiyah, with him. He comes towards Karbala. Atiyah, he says, خرجت مع جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري زائرين قبر الحسين بن علي. Atiyah says, I left Kufa. I wanted to come to Karbala with Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. We used to travel by the night and we used to rest during the day because we were afraid of the people of Banu Umayyah. Atiyah says that when Jabir came to the Karbala, he went and he went to the Furat, and then he took a ghusl and he started walking towards the grave of Abi Abdullah al-Hussain. When he got near the grave, he says, Ya Atiyah al-Misniha, O Atiyah, put my hand on the grave of Hussain. When Atiyah did so, he says, فَخَرَّ عَلَى الْقَبْرِ مَخْشِيًا عَلَيْهِ. Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, he falls unconscious on the grave of Imam al-Hussain. When he comes back to conscious, he says 3 times, Hussain, Hussain, Ya Hussain. Then he says, Habibun la yujibu Habiba. He says to Imam al-Hussain, Oh Imam al-Hussain, look, it is me, Jabir. Jabir is calling upon you, respond to me. Say something back, it is your beloved Jabir here. Then he himself says, وَأَنَّا لَكَ بِالْجَوَابِ وَقَدْ فُرِّقَ بَيْنَ رَأْسِكَ وَجَسَدِكَ. But oh Hussain, how can you respond? For a person to respond, they need their head on their shoulders. But oh Hussain, your head was cut off, your body is in Karbala, but your head is in Kufa and in Sham. Jabir ibn Abdullah, he begins crying until they hear that a caravan is approaching. Atiyah, he goes and sees who this caravan is. He comes back to Jabir and he says, Ya Jabir, qum wastaqbil hurama Rasulillah. Oh Jabir, get up and welcome the family of the Prophet. This is Imam al-Sajjad. He has come to Karbala with his aunts. He wants to pay respects to his father. Atiyah, he says that when Imam Zainul Abidin, he came closer, Jabir, he also came closer. They met. He asked him, Anta Jabir? He said, yes, my master, O Imam, I am Jabir. Then he holds Jabir's hand. Imam, he holds Jabir's hand. He takes him into the plains of Karbala and he says, Ya Jabir, ahuna qutila rijaluna. Oh Jabir, this is the plains of Karbala where our men were killed. This is where Abbas was killed. This is where Ali al-Akbar was martyred. Ya Jabir, ahuna dhubiha atfaluna. Oh Jabir, this is where our children were slaughtered. This is where my 6-month-old Ali al-Asghar was killed. Ya Jabir, ha huna hurriqat khiyamuna. Oh Jabir, this is where our tents were put on fire. Ya Jabir, ha huna subiyat nisa'una. Oh Jabir, this is where our women were taken into captivity. This is where Zainab and Kulthum had ropes around their shoulders. Jabir, he begins to cry. He begins to cry. I would say to him, oh Jabir, you can't hear these words from Imam al-Sajjad, but ask the heart of Zainab. Zainab, she didn't hear this. She saw all of this by her own eyes. She saw how Ali al-Akbar was killed. She saw how Al-Abbas was killed. She saw how Ali al-Asghar was killed. And on the last moment, when the dagger of Shimr was upon the neck of Abi Abdullah al-Hussain, there was no one there to stop him. Only Zainab came and she said, Ya ibn Sa'd, ayuqtalu Abu Abdullah wa anta tanzuru ilayh. Oh the son of Sa'd, oh Umar ibn Sa'd, is my brother going to be killed? Is Hussein really going to be killed? And you're just going to watch him. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين.
Please recite aloud salawat for Afif. Allahumma Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. As I had mentioned earlier, after Majalis, after Naha, we will have a presentation on Sunday school, so please stay around after the Naha. And then thereafter, we're going to have namaz and then take out tabarruk. So I'd like to, we're going to start Naha. Please stand up, everyone stand up. Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain.
जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना या गाजी जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना या गाजी हमको पानी ना मिले तेरी खुशबू तो रहे तेरे बाजू ना कटे शाह मशकी जाशिदे ये मगर हो ना सका तेरे बाजू है जुदा मुझ पे है तशना लबी तू ना या गाजी जबरदा सर से चनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना या गाजी धूप में तू था शजर मुझसे आबाद था घर है पहबा मेरा सर क्या नहीं तुझको खबर ए अलमदारे वफा इस बहन को बाखुदा तुझसे दारसती परी तू ना या गाजी जबरदा सर से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही तू ना या गाजी आ गई शाम में अलम लुट गए अहले हरम रेत पर जलती हुई हो गया ठंडा अलम पुरसा देने के लिए मुझसे मिलने के लिए आ गए बाबा अली, तू ना या गाज़ी। जबरदा सर से चुनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना या गाज़ी। क्या कहूँ शेर मेरे पीरदा हमको लिए, ये मुसलमान सारे शहर दर शहर गए। खिलखते कूफा कभी, खिलखते शाम कभी, और रहा हम पे हंसी, तू ना या गाज़ी। जबरदा सर से चुनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना या गाज़ी। कितनी बेबस थी बहन ए शहंशाह वफा, नाम ले ले के मेरा जब ये जालिम ने कहा, नाज था जिस पे तुझे अब बुलाओ ना उसे, और मैं रोती रही, तू ना या गाज़ी। जबरदा सर से चुनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना या गाज़ी।
Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain.
सकीना उठो मेरी जान उठो, रिहाई मेरी चलो घर चले। सकीना उठो जान उठो, रिहाई मेरी चलो घर चले। करती थी माँ लहर पर बुका मेरी लाडली, चलो घर चले। सकीना उठो मेरी जान उठो, रिहाई मिली चलो घर चले। यहाँ से चलो चले करबला, वहीं पर तुम्हें मिलेंगे चचा। सितम जो हुए बताना उन्हें, दिखाना उन्हें ये कुर्ता जला। चचा जान को बताना ज़रा, रिदा क्यों बड़ी चलो घर चले। सकीना उठो पदर से मिलो तो दिल रोइयो, बजाना उन्हें बहुत रोइयो। कसम लो अगर तुम्हारी बिना सकीना कभी कहीं सोइयो। रहत बाप की मिले जब तुझे तो कहना यही, चलो घर चले। सकीना उठो उठो आई मेरी चले। गरीबों का ये लुटा काफिला, विदा हो के फिर वतन जाएगा। तुझे पाएगी जो सत्ता तेरी, तो बीमार को मिलेगी शिफा। गले मिल के फिर बहुत रोएगी वो बहना तेरी, चलो घर चले। सकीना उठो उठो आई मेरी या हुसैन।
Ya Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain.
ऐसा क्या
Hussain.
मैं बिनते अली हूँ, मैं बिनते अली हूँ, ऐ शाम के लोगों मैं बिनते अली हूँ। ऐ शाम के लोगों, ऐ शाम के लोगों, मैं बिनते अली, मैं वारिस ततहीर हूँ, मैं वारिस ततहीर हूँ, नामों से नबी हूँ। ऐ शाम के लोगों, बिनते, ऐ शाम के लोगों, बाजार से दरबार में ले आए हो मुझको, चाहूं तो जला सकती हूँ खुतबों से मैं तुमको। साबे की बहन हूँ जो मैं, साबे की बहन हूँ जो मैं, खामोश खड़ी हूँ। ऐ शाम के लोगों, ऐ शाम के लोगों, अफसोस का निजी मैं उसे मांग रहे हो, तुम जिसके गुलामों की गुलामी में रहे हो। ये जुल्म न होगा कभी, ये जुल्म न होगा कभी, मैं जिंदा अभी हूँ। ऐ शाम के लोगों, ऐ शाम के लोगों, जिंदा था तो दड़ रहे के हमें शाही लड़े हो, अब सर है तो होठों पे चढ़ी मार रहे हो। तुम कितने बहादुर हो मैं, तुम कितने बहादुर हो मैं, ये देख रही हूँ। ऐ शाम के लोगों, ऐ शाम के लोगों, तुम अपने पैगंबर को अगर देखना चाहो, नेज़े पे जो ये सर है इसे गौर से देखो। हम शक्ल पैगंबर है ये, हम शक्ल पैगंबर है ये, मैं इसकी पुपी हूँ। ऐ शाम के ऐ शाम के लोगों, और इससे कटन वक्त क्या होगा मेरे माबूद, फिजा के तरफदार हैं दरबार में मौजूद। मैं पुश्त पे फिजा के खड़ी देख रही हूँ। ऐ शाम के लोगों, ऐ शाम के लोगों, ज़हरा को भी दरबार में तुमने था बुलाया, दरबार में मैं भी हूँ मगर फर्क है इतना। पर्दे में थी वो और मैं, पर्दे में थी वो और मैं, बेपर्दा खड़ी हूँ। ऐ शाम के ऐ शाम के जंजीरों में जकड़ा जो ये भी मार खड़ा है, सजदा इस काबे की फसीलों ने किया है। मनसब में बड़ा वो है मैं, मनसब में बड़ा वो है मैं, रिश्ते में बड़ी हूँ ऐ शाम के नो मैं बिनते अली हूँ। ऐ शाम के लोगों मैं बिनते अली, मैं वारिस ततहीर हूँ, मैं वारिस ततहीर हूँ, नामों से नबी हूँ ऐ शाम के लोगों मैं बिनते अली।
Syed. Yo, Syed. You want to hold it? You want me to put it on here?
करबल की कहानी जब कोई भी सुनाएगा, दिल वालों की आँखों से एक दरिया बहाएगा। वो काफिला सरवर का जो शान से निकला था, सुगरा को खबर क्या थी, नालो तक के आएगा। ज़हरा ज़हरा पुरसालो 72 का, ज़हरा ज़हरा पुरसालो 72 का, ज़हरा ज़हरा पुरसालो 72 का। मेहमान बुलाया है एक कूफियो सरवर को, मेहमान बुलाया है एक कूफियो सरवर को। क्या गुंबश है दीन का पानी भी न पाएगा। ज़हरा ज़हरा यासो का भी पुरसालो, ज़हरा ज़हरा पुरसालो 72 का, ज़हरा ज़हरा टूटी है कमर शह की, घबराना मगर अकबर। टूटी है कमर शह की, घबराना मगर अकबर। फर्जंद नबी तेरी मैयत को उतारेगा। ज़हरा ज़हरा अकबर का भी पुरसालो, ज़हरा ज़हरा पुरसालो 72 का, ज़हरा ज़हरा पुरसालो। साहातों के कतने का कुछ गम ना दिलावर को, साहातों के कतने का कुछ गम ना दिलावर को। सईदानियों का पर्दा अब कौन बचाएगा। ज़हरा ज़हरा अब्बास का पुरसालो, ज़हरा ज़हरा पुरसालो 72 का, ज़हरा ज़हरा पुरसालो
लाशें सरवर ने उठाए से सब साथियों के लाशें शब्बीर तेरा लाशा अब कौन उठाएगा जहरा जहरा शब्बीर का पुरसालो जहरा जहरा पुरसालो 72 का जहरा जहरा पुरसालो 72 का या हुसैन
Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain. Ya Hussain.
मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा काफिला मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा काफिला मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो ए मेरे बेवफा है बहन बेरदा मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा काफिला मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो तुझको देखे बिना चैना तो नहीं नेज़ा पे सर तेरा मिलता नहीं मैं ज़ियारत करूं किस तरह ये बता मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा काफिला मेरे लाज रख लो बहन की बरादर मेरे खाक मकतल मेरे सर का पर्दा बने हुक्म दे दो जरा मुंतज़िर है हवा मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा काफिला मेरे तेरे बाजू मुझे रास्ते में मिले मैंने जादू समझ कर वो सर पर रखे बाजुओं से तेरा पूछती हो पता मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा का देख कर बहन को दश्त में नंग से क्या हवा गई चुप गए हो किधर खुद चली आऊंगी तुम बता दो जरा मेरे गाजी कहाँ तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा काफिला मेरे गाजी कहाँ मैंने बचपन में लोरी सुनाई तुझे मैंने चलना सिखाया था भाई तुझे रापुर खैरपुर मुझको चलना सिखा मेरे गाजी कहाँ ओ तेरी जागीर से चल पड़ा काफिला मेरे गाजी कहाँ हो या हुसैन
Ya Hussain, Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain.
हक कर गए मादर के अदा सारे के सारे हक कर गए मादर के अदा सारे के सारे मामू पे फिदा हो गए ज़ैनब के दुलारे हक कर गए मादर है अदा सारे के सारे समझाती थी बच्चों को बड़े प्यार से ज़ैनब समझाती थी बच्चों को बड़े प्यार से ज़ैनब भूले से न जाना कहीं दरिया के किनारे हक कर गए मादर के अदा सारे के सारे प्यासी है सकीना रहे हर आन यही ध्यान प्यासी है सकीना रहे हर आन यही ध्यान पानी का तस्वर न हो ज़हनों में तुम्हारे हक कर गए मादर के अदा सारे के सारे घोरों से गिरो भी तो सदा रन से न देना घोरों से गिरो भी तो सदा रन से न देना देखो मैं कफा होंगी जो मामू को पुकारे हक कर गए मादर के अदा सारे के सारे मैं ख़ैमे से देखूंगी जरी कौन है तुम में मैं ख़ैमे से देखूंगी जरी कौन है तुम में ललकार के पहल जो बिने सादे को मराए हक कर गए मादर के अदा सारे के सारे वादा जो किया माँ से वफा कर गए दोनों वादा जो किया माँ से वफा कर गए दोनों प्यासे ही लरे प्यासे ही दुनिया से सिदारे हक कर गए मादर के अदा सारे के सारे या हुसैन हुसैन या हुसैन हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन करबला वालों पे ये कैसा मुहर्रम आया करबला वालों पे टपकता हुआ अब्बास का परचम आया। करबला वालों पे ये कैसा मुहर्रम आया। करबला वालों पे ये कैसा मुहर्रम आया। जैसे जैसे मेरे गाजी का आलम झुकता गया, जैसे जैसे मेरे गाजी का आलम झुकता गया, पुश्त में हजरत शबीर की भी गम आया। खून टपकता हुआ अब्बास का परचम आया। करबला वालों पे कैसा मुहर्रम आया। करबला वालों पे कैसा मुहर्रम आया। करबला देख ले इस्लाम बचाने के लिए। करबला देख ले इस्लाम बचाने के लिए। सात कुनबे को लिए मार से आदम आया। खून टपका हुआ अब्बास का परचम आया। करबला वालों पे करबला वालों पे ज़ालिमो इसको तो दो बूंद पिला दो पानी। ज़ालिमो इसको तो दो बूंद पिला दो पानी। अब लबों पे मेरे बेशीर का है ये दम आया। खून टपकता हुआ अब्बास का परचम आया। करबला वालों पे ये कैसा मुहर्रम आया। करबला वालों पे ये कैसा मुहर्रम आया। आओ चचा हो सकीना ने सदा दी रोकर। आओ चचा हो सकीना ने सदा दी रोकर। लिपटने बूंद मेरे शिम्र सा जालिम आया। खून टपकता हुआ अब्बास का परचम आया। करबला वालों पे ये कैसा मुहर्रम आया। करबला वालों पे ये कैसा मुहर्रम। सारे मौसम तो गुजर जाते हैं आकर, लेकिन सारे मौसम तो गुजर जाते हैं आकर, लेकिन बस हमेशा के लिए मौसम में मातम आया। खून टपकता हुआ अब्बास का परचम या वालों पे ये कैसा मुहर्रम आया। वालों पे कैसा या हुसैन।
शम्मा से शम्मा जले सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे ये आज़ादारी रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आज़ादारी रहे। अपनी नस्लों से खाते रहो मातम का हुनर, सीना दर सीना करे बस ये आज़ादारी सफ़र। जैसे हालात भी हो ये अमल जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आज़ादारी रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये जारी रहे। लाख बदले ये ज़माने की रविश और मौसम, एक पल भी ना रुके अश्के अज़ा और मातम। मातम शह का जनू ज़हन पर तारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आज़ादारी रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, सिलसिला जारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आज़ादारी रहे। तुम अगर ज़ाकिर शब्बीर हो ये याद रहे, चाहे इस गम के लिए सर भी कटे घर भी जले। हुर्मते फर्शे अज़ा जान से प्यारी रहे, हम रहे या ना रहे, ये आज़ादारी रहे। शम्मा से शम्मा जले, या हुसैन,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now I'm going to request everyone to please take a seat, क्योंकि अभी हम लोग जो हैं वो प्रेजेंटेशन करेंगे सारे पढ़ने वालों की तौफीकात में इजाफे के लिए एक बुलंद तर सलावत। Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum. Like I said before, we're going to have a presentation, take around half an hour, and then thereafter just around what the Sunday school is going to entail this year, 2023 and 2024. Uske baad hamari namaz hogi, and then we will have take out tabarruk. Please recite a loud salawat again for all of our reciters. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So there's a couple of things that still are in draft and they're not finalized yet. Inshallah, Sunday school starts next week. उस टाइम तक हम लोग फाइनलाइज कर लेंगे. मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि मौलाना हादी भी आएँ for this presentation, and Abbas Momin Bhai, who's likely busy loading up the presentation. So as I had mentioned before, Sunday school जो है अगले हफ्ते से शुरू हो जाएगा. The calendar is going to be up. The annual calendar is on the website right now. इस साल हम लोग कुछ changes लेके आ रहे हैं अपने schedule में. Primarily कि हमारी वो जो school होता था वो हमारा time shift होता था. जब daylight savings time kicks in, we were shifting it by an hour, ताकि नमाज और लंच टाइम हम लोग अकोमोडेट कर पाएँ विदाउट गिविंग टू मैनी ब्रेक्स. तो लेकिन अब हम इस साल ये कर रहे हैं कि हम लोग जो हैं क्लासेस स्टार्ट करेंगे 11 से, फ्रॉम 11 AM to 3 अगर आप उर्दू नहीं हैं, और अगर उर्दू की क्लास जो ऑप्शनल क्लास है अगर आपके बच्चे इनरोल्ड हैं तो until 3:30. So 11 to 3 और 11 to 3:30, और ये पूरे साल यही स्केड्यूल रहेगा. तो पूरे साल यही स्केड्यूल रहेगा संडे स्कूल का. हम लोग शिफ्ट नहीं करेंगे जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ डे लाइट सेविंग्स टाइम्स. ये हमें थोड़ी सी इनपुट मिली थी पेरेंट्स से, हमने इस साल वो ये चीज़ इम्प्लीमेंट की है. So the agenda of the presentation, हम लोग Sunday School Committee, the small committee that we have, books distribution, classroom setup कैसा होगा. I'll go over Class Dojo, जो हमारी एक communication platform है जिसके ऊपर हम सारी communication करते हैं. पहले हम लोग WhatsApp इस्तेमाल करते थे, but Class Dojo is just more professional and it's more of a concrete platform. फिर हम लोग will go over the school calendar and events, and finally the monthly activities that we had. I'm going to need a clicker. Clicker. Perfect. Oh. All right, so Sunday School Committee. We are a group of 3 right now. Principal जो हैं वो मौलाना हादी हसन हैं, और from administration you got Abbas squared, so you just reach out to one of the Abbases, either Abbas Momin or Abbas Mirza. We are inshallah going to be expanding our committee this year. So, and we are looking for dedicated volunteers. So parents, elders that are here, please step forward and step up. Within this Sunday School Committee, we're going to be trying to form other committees, volunteer, clean up, as well as extracurricular, which I'll be going over shortly. Books, we are getting new books. New books have been printed from grades 1 to 10. All students are going to be getting 2 books. So they'll be getting a Quran book, and then they'll be getting another book, similar to last year, which includes Aqaid, Fiqh, Akhlaq, and History. Those are the 4 subjects that we teach within our Sunday school. The books are, and as well as kindergarten. So last year we had a large number of grade 1 students. Some of them were younger, so we created a kindergarten class, and we've been running it for a couple of years now. Exactly, yeah. So another thing जो हम लोग इस साल implement कर रहे हैं, grade 11 में जो बच्चे जो आएंगे, तो वो जो हैं वो 2 sessions वो पढ़ेंगे मौलाना हादी और अबू इलियास के साथ, grade period 1 and period 2, and then we're going to utilize those grade 11 students as teachers or teacher assistants from grade period 3 and period 4. Again, ये interactive session I'm hoping for. अगर आपके पास कोई सवाल है, if you guys have any questions, please ask, और हम लोग यहाँ पे हम लोग answer कर सकते हैं. Class setup similar to last year. कि classrooms जो हैं grade 1, 2, 3 and 4 including kindergarten are going to be in the basement. हम लोग वो room भी utilize करते हैं, वो जो हमारा library का room है, और यहाँ पे हम लोग grades 5 and up की classes होती हैं यहाँ पे. We are short on space, so inshallah when the construction starts and we have our new Imambargah, which is a targeted plan of the next 2 to 3 years, we're hopefully going to be expanding. कि बच्चे जो हैं वो हर साल बढ़ रहे हैं community में. There's more kids that are coming in, so we are looking at forward into expanding our classroom sizes that way as well. We'll have signs posted up, so the kids next week when you're in, look at the signs, but if you're in grade 1, KG to grade 4, go downstairs after the assembly, and if you're in 5 through 10 and 11, you are going to be on this floor. Teachers do not rotate, so similar पिछले साल की तरह teachers को हम लोग rotate करते हैं, students rotate नहीं होते. It just creates less chaos. So students, you'll be in your own sections. So Class Dojo, I think hopefully everyone's familiar with Class Dojo. It's a platform that we've been using for a couple of years now. We introduced it around COVID. It's a communication platform. It enables one-on-one communication between the teacher, your child's teacher, and you. It also encourages group chats. If you've used Facebook or any of these communication platforms, it's very similar in format. तो हम recommend ये करते हैं कि आप please weekly उसे check करें. Teachers जो हैं वो weekly upload कर रही होंगी, उसके अंदर homeworks, assignments, और उसी के through आप homeworks and assignments submit करेंगे. So it's very online platform. It's everything's just online into the platform. It is predominantly led by the teachers. So teachers are going to be encouraging communication, but please parents, आप उसके ऊपर जाएं, आप questions पूछ सकते हैं directly teacher से, आप उससे review कर सकते हैं assignments or homework or quizzes or midterms. Please use that platform. And within that platform, we also award points, which are then redeemed for monetary value. So everyone gets some money out of it, and then you can use that money in our fair. So we do have a fair at the end of Sunday school. So points are awarded on attendance. So if you're on time, if you're early, not on time. If you're early, you get rewarded for your attendance, class participation, and completing your homework. Okay, so make sure you guys are on time. इसकी details हम लोग आपको और बता देंगे. If you have any questions about Class Dojo, you can reach out to myself or Abbas Moon bhai here. It's an app, you download it, there's no cost to it. तो अगर आप ऐसे section में हैं वहाँ पे Class Dojo, it's asking you for a cost, do not pay because we are using the free platform for Class Dojo. Everyone's going to get a code for their child. If you have more than one child, you'll have 2 accounts or a way to toggle between them. So these are just, you can use it online as well. But yeah, this is how you can kind of see the classes and everything like that. So if you have any questions about Class Dojo, please feel free. Abbas bhai, do you have anything to add about Class Dojo?
basically the purpose of Class Dojo is to collaborate. It's not just one purpose that we are achieving with this. It's a communication tool. We can contact the teacher directly. You can contact the admin directly. Parent can contact any one of us directly, one-to-one message, as well as the teacher can message whole class in one go. As well as you can, if you message the teacher individually, then a teacher can of course reply to you in private as well. So it's a complete collaboration tool, and teachers post homework. Students can submit the homework online as well, and then teacher can check the homework and then award the points, as well as the reward system. So before we used to award students only one early bird prize. That's how we used to do before. But with the Class Dojo, we have divided the reward system. Now students get multiple points per class. So in each class, so there are 4 periods. So in each period, they get 3 points. The attendance, class participation. Class participation is basically how involved the student is in the class. They ask question, that's participation. They answer question, that's participation. They raise any question, that's participation. So they get rewarded for that. And ultimately these points gather together, and then last year as well we did, after first term we did a fair. Basically we bought some toys, and then students redeemed those points to buy those toys. Inshallah, again we'll do the same thing. Inshallah, half semester we'll do one fair, and then end of the year we'll do another fair. So students basically get encouraged. They get encouraged to collect the points. And trust me, many students watch their points. They come and complain as, what happened to my points? They look at these points, and to earn more points, they keep engaged themselves. They pay more attention, and the teacher have also a tool to, if you do this, I'll give you point. So that's also, and it really works. This is ongoing rewarding system. So students keep engaged in every period and for multiple kinds, types of engagement. So that's the main, basically 2 main goals we are achieving, the reward system as well as the communication. So inshallah, if you have questions, enrollment in the, downloading the app, login, it's pretty easy, but if anything, you can just bring your phone to us and we'll download and we'll set it up for you as well. Any other questions you have, you can of course ask. It does show ad sometime, because apparently nothing is free in this world, even the Google posts ads. So these guys also do show you some ads. They do show as if you need to pay, but you don't need to pay. It's free tool. Just close that tab whenever the promotion comes, and then just close it. You can use it if you want to use it for home. They basically encourage that you use same tool to get reward points in the school, as well as you can reward points at home as well. That's what they, and I don't want to, it's not bad, right? They're giving us free tool. So if they promote their product, it's not a bad thing necessarily. But it's up to you if you want to use it or not. You are not forced to use it. It's completely free. So don't be bothered about that. If you want to use it, you can use it. You can pay for it, but otherwise you don't need to. If you get bothered about it, just come see us and we'll show you how to close that ad. Inshallah. Other than that, do we have any other topic? Right. Annual calendar. I guess this is the, watch this calendar throughout the year. We do once in a while, we have to move a few things here and there, but mostly this calendar will stay static. We will have the same schedule all throughout the year. During the Ramzan, we will have 2 weeks off, and then 2 weeks will be on. First 2 weeks will be on, and then last 2 weeks will be off. So to watch that, and then final exam, and then midterm exam as well. There will be some art exhibition, of course. Maybe we will see, we haven't decided which topic will be to the art exhibition, but there will be multiple competition inshallah throughout the year. And in addition to that, do we have a teacher timetable as well? Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah.
So as I had mentioned earlier, so we saw the class schedule, so the annual school schedule. As I had mentioned before, we have the 4 core periods, which range between 30 to 40 minutes each. We have Quran, we have Aqaid and Fiqh, we have Akhlaq, and we have History. And we follow a syllabus that Maulana Hadi has approved from kindergarten to grade 10. The changes that we are implementing in 2023, which are of importance here, are the full year. So full year, we're going to start at 11, and we're going to end at 3 or 3:30, depending on the optional Urdu class. We will not be adjusting the schedule due to daylight savings time. So hopefully that's input that we received from the parents and we implement it. So if you have any suggestions or inputs, we're open to them. Assembly is going to be from 11 to 11:15. This is where your early bird comes in. So with the early birds, again, it's up to the parents. Bring your child in early and they can get rewarded for that. What we're doing, and I'll show you the schedule here shortly, is we're going to have the lunchtime, namaz, and an extracurricular, or call it practical class, between 12:30 to 2. Now that 12:30 to 2 is an hour and a half. And in that, we're going to do lunch, we're going to do namaz, and then this practical class, which will range between 20 to 30 minutes roughly. Last year we wanted to implement this. This year we have, without really having to impact any of the other classes significantly. Like we didn't even collapse any of the classes. We still have our 4 core classes, but this 20 to 30 minutes is going to be really practical because we'll group them into sections of 3 groups roughly. So grades 1 or kindergarten to grade 3 or grade 4, grades 5 to 7, and then grades 8 to 11. And Maulana Hadi and a couple of our volunteers are going to lead practical applications such as wuzu, such as namaz. We're going to have an azadari class. We will have a presentation class to help our children, give them this platform to help build their speaking skills, their presentation skills, and other ahkam as well. So we want to use that class, and we will be creating a calendar of activities. So similar to the calendar that we shared previously, we'll share another one which will say, okay, this is the practical class that we'll be doing. And again, it's draft, so things will change. But for example, next week, just as an example, we may do the wuzu class in 20-30 minutes, and we're going to walk the children. The reason we're grouping them is due to their age, right? So the ones that are 8 to 12, or grades 8 to grade 11, Maulana Hadi will walk them through how to do wuzu and all those etiquettes. So that's one thing. Our Urdu class is still optional, 3 to 3:30. This is our draft schedule. So I want to emphasize the draft because we are still confirming a couple of things. But this is our draft schedule. Classes, the first class starts at 11:15. But again, we encourage everyone to be early because our assembly starts at 11. So 15-minute assembly. Then we have our first class 11:15 to 11:55, 11:55 to 12:30. Then we have that hour and a half for namaz, lunch, as well as those practical classes. Then we have 2 half-an-hour classes of akhlaq and history tarikh, and then the optional class. For all of this, I'm again going to be requesting volunteers. So if you are able to dedicate, last year we had a really good team being led by Turab and Anbhai here, who were putting together monthly activities, which I'll talk about shortly here as well. But we're going to be looking for some volunteers for our practical classes. So our extracurricular class, like I mentioned, will include azadari classes, we'll have wuzu tutorial, namaz tutorial, other ahkam. We will also encourage science fairs. So last year we had a science and art exhibition together. It was the first that we did the science fair as part of the art exhibition. But we could utilize that time for those presentations. We're going to be doing a career fair as well as presentation and public speaking skills. The classes will be split as follows. Monthly field trips. So last year, how many of you guys remember the monthly field trips? Yeah? Okay, perfect. So we had monthly field trips, and that's where we had a group of volunteers. So again, we'll be looking for those volunteers. And everything from bowling, we did not do the zoo or farm trip, but inshallah we can incorporate it this year. We did do a nature walk. We had a career fair. We had a martial arts class. How many of you guys remember the martial arts class in here? That was pretty fun. We had movie, we had bowling. So a lot of those activities that we're going to be looking at doing again. And inshallah, what we'll do is if we have a good number of volunteers, we'll create a schedule as well. So you'll have the annual calendar schedule, you'll have the teacher timetable. We're going to be working on a schedule for this practical extracurricular class, as well as schedule for these monthly activities that we will be performing. So it is more organized. And that brings us to the conclusion of the structured presentation. Are there any questions for either one of us or Maulana Hadi? Every year we see an increase. Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
Last year, out of the 3 teachers, only 1 teacher was using the class dojo. So, if we can educate the teachers also how to use that, and they are complying with it fully every week and posting the homework and checking them actually, especially in the days of exams, that would be really appreciated and good.
No, No, Jazakallah. No, thank you for that input. Yes, and like I said, that it is a teacher-led app, so we're going to be encouraging our teachers, and we'll be requesting them to use it more frequently.
Yeah, definitely, that's a very good question, and we do recognize that some teachers do not post on Class Dojo, even though, but it's an ongoing process. We started Class Dojo just before last year, just the previous year to last year, we started using Class Dojo, so some teachers are not used to posting it, but inshallah, we will keep pushing it. It's an ongoing process, right? But inshallah, slowly they will get used to it, and then we'll get better performance from teachers as well, inshallah. Yes. Ji Mushir bhai.
Is it possible if you can include the email distribution, just like it would be the easiest for you, easier for the parents,
Inshallah.
like the Hussaini module we get?
Yeah, we already have an email system. Well, we weren't using it because of this tool, but inshallah we'll resume it. That's no big deal. Yeah, inshallah we'll do that. We'll create an email group for the parents who have registered, and we will send an email as well, inshallah.
We're going to continue to use WhatsApp as well, so that's another platform. So we'll try to use all three platforms, Class Dojo, WhatsApp, as well as the email, to get as much information, especially around big events that we have planned out.
Yeah, so this year's main change, I guess many parents will notice, is the timing. Some parents, I don't know, we are looking forward to feedback. If you have any problem with the timing, we changed it drastically, because in previous year we used to change it. 10 o'clock start in other time, and then during the daylight time we were starting at 11. But now we changed it to completely 11 o'clock throughout the year. So it might, create any problem with your parents. Any of the parents, feel free to tell us, because that's the way we know. I mean, we cannot guarantee that by your feedback we'll change it to whatever else, but we will definitely listen to your feedback. And this is an ongoing process, right? We basically achieved 3 goals by changing this. Timing to consistently 11 o'clock. Number 1 was avoiding the time change. 10 and 11, it was causing problem for many parents. They were getting confused whether it's 10 o'clock, and then every time we were changing it, for 1 or 2 weeks we were getting lower attendance, because parents weren't used to bringing, picking up and drop up of timing. So with this, throughout the year, you'll have same time. The second goal we are using, last year we had a big complaint from students. The break time wasn't enough. They were getting really less time, but now we have hour and half. So that's a pretty long time, and this break time is not going to be loose play. This time will be utilized into teaching them practically, to keep them engaged practically. It's not just loose time that they will wander around and do nothing. No, we will use this time to, as I said, Azadari class, as well as speaking classes, wuzu practical aspects. Inshallah, Maulana Sahib will lead the, as we say, we will post another annual calendar with each day what we will be doing in that extra hour and half in the middle. So some parents might think, it's too long. Used to be 30 minutes to 40 minutes break, but now it's hour and half. But inshallah, this will be really good use. Other thing is theory, but this will be practical, and it will be utilized in a very good way. And the third, goal what we achieved is basically the longer break gives us better timing, more timing for activities. Before we used to try to arrange some kind of activity in the break time, but we weren't able to successfully do it. It was really short time, 10-15 minutes sometime, but now we will have more time to do the activities, inshallah. So better, more lunch time, more free time as well. We will still give them free time. It's not that this will be the end of free time. There will be free time, so their complaint for 2 short break time will be achieved, and then we'll have more time in the activities as well. So inshallah, it looks really great from our perspective, but we are open to listening to your feedback. If you have any issues with that, for sure let us know. What is this? Calendar, yes. Yes.
How do you get access to WhatsApp?
WhatsApp, if you can give me your number, we'll add you into the group, inshallah.
And then the syllabus, is it posted on the Class Dojo as well? Or?
Yes, so syllabus is, the book will be handed over to the students, so you'll have it at home, but just before the exam, each teacher will post the syllabus on Class Dojo. So this exam will cover how many chapters? 1 to 6, 1 to 7, because sometimes teacher cover 1 to 6 in first, and then 7 to 12 in the second, but sometimes they do 1 to 7 in the first. It depends how many chapters they cover in the first exam, but the syllabus will be posted. For younger students, teacher post actually, like if they're going to ask 10 questions in the exam paper, they post 20-25 questions. So it's easy for parents to prepare those questions. You prepare them 25 questions and then they answer 10 questions. But this will be posted before exam, midterm exam as well as the final exam. Both, all subjects, syllabus inshallah will be posted on Class Dojo. So that way we will be, you will be able to accurately, prepare your child for the exam. And without parents' involvement, students cannot do good in exam. We need to, push our child for every subject. And I think most of the parents are doing really great. Thank you. Yeah, 30 and 30. Yeah. Yeah, this is okay because if you see on this case, yeah, some teachers are same. 30 minutes. Akhlaq and history are actually easy to teach. And they have a short syllabus as well. Aqaid and Quran, these two subjects require more time because they are really wide and they have bigger curriculum. But Akhlaq and history are easy to achieve and is fiqh and Aqaid. Actually, there are two subjects. So that's why the first subject you see, the first period is actually 40 minutes. So fiqh and Aqaid, it could be two separate periods of 30 minutes, but we did 40 minutes for two. So that's why it looks more time there. And then the Quran, of course, it needs more time. It's not enough. Quran, also understand that Quran, we teach Quran here, but it's not enough. One day a week is not enough. So if you have a younger child who hasn't learned Quran, we encourage you to also join them in a separate Quran classes, online classes or in person, whatever you like. But these days, I guess most parents prefer online classes. We still recommend that you do separate Quran classes every day.
From Youm-e-Hussain, there are certain students that are teaching Quran classes over there, and we can recommend parents to those teachers.
Yeah, if you don't know any teacher online, teaching Quran teacher, then let us know. We'll connect you with one of the teachers. So please, don't rely on this for Quran. Other subjects are still okay, but Quran you still need to do other than this because one day a week is never enough for Quran. It takes long time because by the time a student comes back the following week, whatever was taught on the previous week is gone. So all we can do is kind of revise, but it helps. Definitely, it helps for sure. Helps a lot, definitely. We do the accuracy here, so inshallah that'll be beneficial. Good notice, inshallah.
Yeah, good point. So we didn't have that much registrations in grade 7. So, and we had a large number in grade 8. So we merged some of those just to be more practical because if we have one teacher for one student and one teacher for 15 students, it just didn't balance. So what we did was we merged those grade 7 few students with grade 8 and split it into grade 8A and 8B. If we called it grade 7, then those that were in grade 8 last year or grade 7 last year would have thought that they were repeating grade 7, if that makes sense. So that's why we split it. We called it 8A and 8B.
Yeah,
for
it's
that
a coincidence that grade 6 last year had only 4 students, and then out of 4 only 2 students were coming. So 2 students, it's hard to teach them. Sometimes only 1 student. So that's why we put them together with other students. So inshallah that will be.
It just wasn't practical for the teacher
them,
either.
It doesn't give them, when teacher is focusing on 1 student, that the students gets kind of under stress. But this way inshallah they will be free.
Yes.
What about the lunch? Kids need to bring?
Yeah, lunch kids needs to bring. Yeah, we used to serve lunch, but now we don't because it's.
That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, too much activity. We want to focus on education rather than the food part.
It costs parents a lot because now alhamdulillah madrasa has grown. So if parents offer lunch, then what happens? They end up in paying $700, $800 extra.
And even on top of that, what we used to do basically, honestly, before time, we didn't have many options. We can't serve, roti and salan, right? We only had 2 options, basically, it's pizza and rice. So students, even though most children like pizza, they were getting really, really frustrated with pizza. Too many times. So that was one of the main problem as well, that students, even though we don't get many options, right? Even though we were doing it every week, but we can't do many options with that. And same thing repeating every time.
Yes.
Even the best pizza was tasting not so tasty.
Yeah. So we encourage all the parents to please pack a healthy lunch. And also all the kids coming into Sunday school should have a water bottle. So please encourage, all the kids, make sure you guys bring your water bottles from home.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise it just creates a lot of trash.
They stand up and then they come out to drink water outside in that
Yes.
small hall.
How many teachers or which teachers are trained for allergies?
Allergies?
Administering EpiPens, allergens?
That's a good point. I don't believe
We
any...
do have some
We have-
doctors
yeah.
from Pakistan here who teach, but we don't have any formal training for allergies.
Right.
So will someone be on site that is trained or is comfortable doing allergies?
We'll do that if we have a student that
Yeah.
is
I've got 2 students with allergies.
Okay.
Which allergies?
No, that's good to know.
Okay.
Should I be here on site or will you have someone?
On the first couple of days, I would recommend that you're likely here on site. It would be beneficial. We do have first aiders. I myself am a first aider as well. Administration of EpiPens is part of the first aid training, but I may not be around. So we definitely need to make sure that whichever grade those students are in with any allergies. So if there are any allergies, peanut allergies, for example, we need to be made aware of those. They are on the registration form as well. So we will be reviewing those registration forms in regarding that as well.
As a request, if you put a note out for any students bringing lunches, if they could try and avoid starting common allergies.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, no,
Inshallah.
that's good to
We'll
know.
remind,
So
yeah.
we'll send out a reminder. So again, all those here, please be cautious of the fact that you're not bringing any nuts
Yeah.
or
Inshallah, we'll instruct that.
allergies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, in terms of the stationery that children need to carry, do they need to carry any stationery along with them?
Yeah. In terms of stationery, we do provide pencils and rubber and a book. But other than that, I guess there isn't any other specific stationery. But if you want to send anything, they just need to bring their book
Right.
that we will give, and then another notebook if you want to give.
Yeah, for writing.
That's
Otherwise,
it. But
everything
we
else
have
is going to be
pencils,
provided.
rubber, pen, everything else. Go
We'll
ahead.
provide everything.
We will not be doing pizza. We have to, yeah, that's why we gave that responsibility to parents. Your mom and your dad should be giving you different, because that's a huge problem that, some children, they get paired up with pizza. So, yeah, you have to tell that to your parent, inshallah.
Yes. If the sisters have
Yes,
any questions, I can pass
questions,
over
yeah.
this wireless mic. Are there any questions?
Ji, Faizan.
Grade 6, last column under Tariq, Mr. Imambargah, but under his name it's written Akhlaq and the subject is actually Tariq. What does that mean? In order to adjust the schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the column.
Akhlaq and Tariq, but sometimes to adjust, we just switch. So we teach Tariq first and then Akhlaq later.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, this column belongs to Akhlaq, but in this case, this will be history for grade 6.
Right.
Now, Sister Nadia Askar will be teaching history, and this teacher will do the. So we have switched this. Actually, yeah, we should have mentioned history
And,
here.
and on the PowerPoint, it's not coming clearly. We have color-coded them as well. So for example, in the first one, you can see Quran and Aqaid and Fiqh, they are gray and black, right? So we've color-coded them. It's just not coming up clearly in here. So it's the same aspect that there are some teachers that we have assigned for Quran, but there's not 10. There might be 5. So we do 5 of them from grade 1 to 5, for example, just as an example, Quran, and then they switch to grades 6 to 10 in the second period. So although majority of the classes from grade KG to grade 11 are Tariq in the last period, there may be 1 or 2, just due to the fact there are some teachers that are more suited to teach a certain subject. Again, any sisters, any questions?
Ji bhai. Yeah, so about the confirmation, when you submit the form online, you get a short message in the bottom, but I think that's a good suggestion. Inshallah, I'll reprogram it so that you get a copy of that email. I'll reprogram it, inshallah. No. Yeah, you have to pay the fees separately. You can pay it online or you can pay it here on the machine. But that's a good suggestion. Inshallah, I'll change that program, inshallah. Yes, sister. Yes.
Here, I can give you the mic.
Yeah, take the mic. MashaAllah, Sheikh Armagan is our Quran teacher. Is MashaAllah.
One of the oldest serving teachers.
Oh, he's been MashaAllah, yeah, he's been a very many years been with Sunday school. And his contribution to Sunday school is honestly beyond description. He comes from far and mashallah does a great service.
You mean it?
Absolutely. Yes, you would like to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. Now, brothers, sit down, students. Our Quranic program, Quranic education requires good solid time, 1.5 hours, at least 60, 70 minutes, in order to teach children how to read Quran perfectly. That's why other places cannot teach Quran, because they don't spend enough time and consistency. That students who's going to take Quranic classes, they have to be all the time, every week in the same class. My son gave up coming here, said, no, not more, because every week different student comes, cannot teach, cannot achieve anything. Okay, that's one of the things we have. I want whoever wants to teach their children, okay, we're going to make special time with the brothers, inshallah. We are ready, we are serving the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But alhamdulillah, as long as I'm alive, I'm your servant here. That, so how many years that you have been teaching? Oh, Brother Hassan knows. How long? Maybe almost 40. So alhamdulillah, I am happy that we are all working together. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seeing our intention, what we are trying to achieve. Now I know you have other programs, but you're going to give the parents, you're going to skip this one, instead of that one, you can take Quranic education. What do you want? If they prefer Quranic education, the real way, okay, then I have to convince my elder son maybe has to come continue the classes. And then we don't want our children and get up. I canceled few classes like that. They didn't listen, the teachers, they didn't respect, and they said, cry to me, well, we cannot control children. I said, no, such a things. You have to make them understand. If they don't listen, we call the parents, we call the teachers, and we have lots of the helpers. We make the person understand it's a Quranic education, calm, nice, and then respectful to everybody, respecting each other, and more education, better education, and memorization also takes place beside it. I'm very happy, alhamdulillah, Allah put us together in this world together. Otherwise, some of the other places you cannot work together because there is some negative things takes place, then the shaitan comes in a different way. Alhamdulillah, we here, we didn't open door for shaitan. Always kick the shaitan out. We continue our Quranic education. I am here your servant, inshallah. I will discuss with them. Jazakumullah khairan.
MashaAllah. His contribution is definitely numberable. Yes, I think there was a question from sisters.
So actually, for grade 10 and 11, not every student can make the commitment to come because, there's stuff like high school and other things, right? And they're really hard. So can those students still volunteer as well?
Yes, as Maulana Sahab said, we have kept an option for those who graduated from grade 10 to come and teach. But yeah, let us know your availability. Whatever students are there, we can manage. We actually want to encourage the students to come and volunteer. You have worked hard, studied 10 years here, and if you don't utilize your knowledge and your skills, I think that would be waste of resources. So we definitely want to make best use of all the students, whoever are coming. Whatever is your availability, if you can make, come afternoon, morning, we can definitely make the most of it, inshallah. Let us know. Contact Maulana Sahab to schedule your, availability, inshallah. Yes, sister. Yeah, we just discussed that grade 7 we don't have because we had very few students last year in grade 6. So now grade 7 has only, we don't know how many students out of 4 students we had, only 2 were attending regularly. So we kind of merged it with 8A. Because grade 7 last year was too big. So we merged those grade 6 students this year into grade 8. Inshallah, we'll manage that. Yeah, any other questions? Feel free to. Sisters, any other questions? To let us know. Yeah, and WhatsApp group is on. You can ask question in the WhatsApp group as well. You can private message any one of us as well. So inshallah we will have salat in about 7 minutes from now. And then after salat there will be tabarruk, but
One of the students wanted to recite a speech, right?
yeah, I guess one student couldn't recite, give the speech before, so I think I can request Master Hussain Jafri to come and deliver a speech, mashallah. Come here. Salawat par Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You okay? Are you okay standing or you want to sit down? You want to? Either way? Okay. Stand.
Salawat. Today I want to talk about Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Hazrat Abbas wasn't just a fighter. He was like a brother to Imam-Hussain alayhi salam. This shows us how family and support are very important in our faith. It means being there and helping those we love, especially when things are tough. In the fight at Karbala, Hazrat Abbas was really brave. He carried a special flag that was very important. But what's amazing is how he cared more about others than himself. Even though he was very thirsty, he didn't drink water from the river. He put others first, and that's a big lesson in being brave and looking out for others. Hazrat Abbas didn't only fight, he also protected and looked after Imam Hussein's family, especially when the women and children when things got tough. This reminds us how important it is to help and support those who depend on us. Hazrat Abbas' story isn't just a thing from the past. It's something that can inspire us today. It teaches us about sticking by our family, being brave when things are hard, and helping the people we care about. His story inspires us to do the right thing and stand up for what's fair. What Hazrat Abbas did a long time ago can still teach us things now. In today's world where there are a lot of tough things happening, we can learn from his strong commitment to fairness and his readiness to do what's right. We can be like him by being kind, brave, and looking out for others. So to sum up, Hazrat Abbas's role in Karbala can teach us important lessons about being loyal, brave, and helping our loved ones. His story reminds us to be good people and stand up for what's right, just like he did. As we think about Hazrat Abbas today, let us keep in mind the lessons from his life. Let us be loyal, brave, and kind individuals who stand up for what's right and fair. Salawat.
Per Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Please recite, is there another question? Right before Azan. I'd like to conclude the program. Please recite aloud salawat for all of our reciters today. Per Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We're 2 minutes away from namaz, so at 1:33 I believe today. So please, I would encourage everyone to do your wuzu and come back here.